A View from the Bridge, a play in 2 acts, written by Arthur Miller, read for you by Weirdo Fries. Act 1. Eddie has appeared and has been pitching coins with the men and is highlighted among them. He's 40, a husky, slightly overweight longshoreman. This one's name was Eddie Carbone, a longshoreman working the docks from Brooklyn Bridge to the breakwater where the open sea begins. A ferry walks into darkness. Eddie, moving up steps into the doorway. Well, I'll see you, fellas. Catherine enters from kitchen, crosses down the window, looks out. You working tomorrow? Yeah, there's another day yet on that ship. See ya, Louis. Eddie goes into the house. As light rises in the apartment, Catherine is waving to Louis from the window and turns to him. Hi, Eddie. Eddie is pleased and therefore shy about it. He hangs up his cap and jacket. Where are you going all dressed up? Catherine, running her hands over her skirt. I just got it. You like it? Yeah, it's nice. What happened to your hair? You like it? I fixed it different. Calling to the kitchen. He's here, B. Beautiful. Turn around. Let me see in the back. She turns for him. Oh, if your mother was alive to see you now, she wouldn't believe it. You like it, huh? You look like one of them girls that went to college. Where you going? Catherine takes his arm. Wait till B comes in. I'll tell you something. Here, sit down. She is walking him to the armchair, calling off stage. Hurry up, will you, B? Eddie's sitting. What's going on? I'll get you a beer, all right? Well, tell me what happened. Come over here. Talk to me. I want to wait till B comes in. She sits on her heels beside him. Guess how much we paid for the skirt? I think it's too short, ain't it? Standing. No, not when I stand up. Yeah, but you gotta sit down sometimes. Eddie, it's the style now. She walks to show him. I mean, if you see me walking down the street, listen, you be giving me the willies the way you walk down the street. I mean it. Why? Catherine, I don't want to be a pest, but I'm telling you, you're walking wavy. I'm walking wavy? Now, don't aggravate me. Katie, you are walking wavy. I don't like the looks they're giving you in the candy store. And with them new high heels on the sidewalk, clack, 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 the heads are turning like windmills. But those guys look at all the girls. You know that. You ain't all the girls. Almost in tears because he disapproves. What do you want me to do? You want me to... No, don't get mad, kid. Well, I don't know what you want from me. Katie, I promised your mother on her deathbed, I'm responsible for you. You're a baby. You don't understand these things. I mean, I like when you stand here by the window waving outside. I was waving to Louis. Listen, I could tell you things about Louis which you wouldn't wave to him no more. Trying to joke him out of his warning. Eddie, I wish there was one guy you couldn't tell me things about. Catherine, do me a favor, will you? You're getting up to be a big girl now. You gotta keep yourself more. You can't be so friendly, kid. Calls. Hey, B, what you doing in there? To Catherine. Get her in here, will you? I got news for her. Catherine's starting out. What? Her cousin just landed. No! She turns instantly and starts for the kitchen. B, your cousins! Beatrice enters, wiping her hands with a towel. In the face of Catherine's shout, what? Your cousins got in! Beatrice, astounded, turns to Eddie. What are you talking about? Where? I was just knocking off work before, and Tony Borelli came over to me. He says the ship is in the North River. Her hands are clasped at her breast. She seems half in fear, half in unutterable joy. They're all right. He didn't see them yet. They're still on board. But as soon as they get off, he'll meet them. He figures about 10 o'clock they'll be here. Sits, almost weak from tension. and they'll let them off the ship, all right? That's fixed, eh? Sure, they give them regular seaman papers and they walk off with the crew. Don't worry about it, B. There's nothing to it. A couple of hours, they'll be here. Wait, what happened? They were supposed to be here till Thursday. I don't know. They put them on any ship they can get out of, I guess. Maybe the other ship they were supposed to take there was some danger. What you crying about? Beatrice, astounded and afraid. I can't believe it. I didn't even buy a new tablecloth. I was gonna wash the walls. Listen, they'll think it's a millionaire's house compared to the way they live. Don't worry about the walls. They'll be thankful. To Catherine. Why don't you run down to buy a tablecloth? Go ahead, here. He's reaching into his pocket. There's no stores open now. To Beatrice. You was gonna put on a new cover on the chair? I know. Well, I thought it was gonna be next week. I was gonna clean the walls. I was gonna wax the floors. She stands disturbed, pointing upward. Maybe Mrs. Dorendo's upstairs. Of the tablecloths. No, hers are worse than this one. Suddenly, my God, I don't even have nothing to eat for them. She starts up the kitchen, reaching out and grabbing her arm. Hey, take it easy. No, I'm just nervous. That's all. To Catherine, I'll make the fish. You're saving their lives. What are you worrying about? Tablecloth? They probably didn't see a tablecloth in the whole life where they were from. Looking into his eyes. I'm just worried about you. That's what I'm worried about. Listen, as long as they know where they're gonna sleep, I told them in the letters. They're sleeping on the floor. Beatrice, all I'm worried about is you got such a heart that that'll end up on the floor with you. And they'll be in our bed. All right, stop it. Because as soon as you see a tired relative, I end up on the floor. When did you end up on the floor? When your father's house burned down? I didn't end up on the floor? Well, their house burned down. Yeah, but it didn't keep burning for 2 weeks. All right, look, I'll tell them to go someplace else. She starts into the kitchen. Now, wait a minute, Beatrice. She halts. He goes to her. I just don't want you being pushed around, that's all. You got too big a heart. He touches her hand. What are you so touchy? I'm just afraid if it don't turn out good, you'll be mad at me. Listen, if everybody keeps his mouth shut, nothing can happen. They'll pay for their board. Oh, I told them. Then what the hell? Pause. He moves. It's an honor, B. I mean it. I was just thinking before coming home, suppose my father didn't come to this country and I was starving like them over there. And I had people in America who could keep me a couple of months. The man would have been honored to lend me a place to sleep. There's tears in her eyes. She turns to Catherine. You see what he is? She turns and grabs Eddie's face in her hands. You're an angel. God bless you. He is gratefully smiling. You'll see. You'll get a blessing for this. Laughing. I'll settle for my own bed. Go, baby. Set the table. You didn't tell him about me yet. Let him eat first. Then we'll tell him. Bring everything in. She hurries Catherine out. Sitting at the table. What's all that about? Where's she going? No place. It's very good news. Eddie, I want you to be happy. What's going on? Catherine enters with plates, forks. She's got a job. Pause. Eddie looks at Catherine, then back to Beatrice. What job? She's gonna finish school. Eddie, you won't believe it. No. You're gonna finish school. What kind of job? What do you mean? Listen a minute. It's wonderful. It's not wonderful. You never get nowhere unless you finish school. You can't take no job. Why didn't you ask me before you take a job? She's asking you now. She didn't take nothing yet. Listen a minute. I came to school this morning and the principal called me out of the class, see, to go to his office, yeah? So I went in and he says to me, he's got my records, and there's a company, wants a girl right away. I ain't exactly a secretary, it's a stenographer first. But pretty soon you get to be a secretary, and he says to me that I'm the best student in the whole class. You hear that? Well, why not? Sure, she's the best. I'm the best student, he says. And if I want, I should take the job. And the end of the year, he'll make me take the examination and he'll give me the certificate. So I'll save practically a year. Eddie's strangely nervous. Where's the job? What company? It's a big plumbing company over Nostrand Avenue. Nostrand Avenue. And where? It's someplace by the Navy Yard. $50 a week, Eddie. To Catherine, surprised. 50? I swear. Pause. What about all the stuff you wouldn't learn this year, though? There's nothing more to learn, Eddie. I just gotta practice from now on. I know all the symbols, and I know the keyboard. I'll just get faster, and that's all. And when I'm working, I'll keep getting better and better, you see? Working is the best practice anyway. That ain't what I wanted, though. Why? It's a great big company. I don't like that neighborhood over there. It's a block and a half from the subway, he says. Near the Navy Yard. Plenty can happen in a block and a half. And a plumbing company? That's one step over the waterfront. They're practically longshoremen. Yeah, but she'll be in the office, Eddie. I know she'll be in the office, but that ain't what I had in mind. Listen, she's got to go to work sometime. Listen, B. She'll be with a lot of plumbers and sailors up and down the street. So what did she go to school for? But it's $50 a week, Eddie. Look, did I ask you for money? I supported you this long. I support you a little more. Please, do me a favor, will you? I want you to be with different kind of people. I want you to be in a nice office. Maybe a lawyer's office someplace in New York, in one of them nice buildings. I mean, if you're going to get out of here, then get out. Don't go practically in the same kind of neighborhood. Pause. Catherine lowers her eyes. Go, baby. Bring in the supper. Catherine goes out. Think about it a little bit, Eddie. Please. She's crazy to start work. It's not a little shop. It's a big company. Someday she could be a secretary. They picked her out of the whole class. He's silent, staring down at the tablecloth, finger in the pattern. What are you worried about? She could take care of herself. She'll get out of the subway and be in the office in 2 minutes. Somehow sickened, I know that neighborhood beat. I don't like it. Listen, if nothing happened to her in this neighborhood, it ain't gonna happen no place else. She turns his face to her. Look, you gotta get used to it. She's no baby no more. Tell her to take it. He turns his head away. You hear me? She's angering. You don't understand, do you? She's 17 years old. You gonna keep her in the house all her life? Insulted. What kind of remark is that? With sympathy but insistent force. Well, I don't understand when it happens. But at first, it was gonna be when she graduated high school. So she graduated high school. Then it was gonna be when she learned stenographer. So she learned stenographer. So what's we gonna wait for now? I mean it, Eddie. Sometimes I don't understand you. They picked her out of the whole class. It's an honor for her. Catherine enters with food, which she silently sets on the table. After a moment of watching her face, Eddie breaks into a smile. But it almost seems that tears will form in his eyes. With your hair that way, you look like a Madonna. You know that? You're the Madonna type. She doesn't look at him, but continues ladling out food into the plates. You wanna go to work, eh, Madonna? Yeah. With a sense of her childhood, her babyhood, and the years. All right, go to work. She looks at him, then rushes and hugs him. Hey, take it easy. He holds her face away from him to look at her. What are you crying about? He's affected by her, but smiles his emotion away. Sitting at her place. I'm gonna buy all new dishes for my first pay. They laugh warmly. I mean it. I'll fix up the whole house. I'll buy a rug. And then you'll move away. No, Eddie, grinning. Why not? That's life, and you come visit on Sundays, then once a month, then Christmas and New Year's. Finally? Grasping his arm to reassure him and to erase the accusation. No, please. Smiling but hurt. I only ask you one thing. Don't trust nobody. You got a good aunt, but she got too big a heart. You learn bad from her, believe me. Be the way you are, Katie. Don't listen to him. To Beatrice, strangely and quickly resentful. You lived in a house all your life. What do you know about it? You never worked in your life. She likes people. What's wrong with that? Because most people ain't people. She's going to work. Plumbers. They'll chew her into pieces if she doesn't watch out. To Catherine, believe me, Katie. The less you trust, the less you'll be sorry. Eddie crosses himself, and the women do the same, and they eat. First thing I'll buy is a rug. Huh, B? I don't mind. To Eddie. I smell coffee all day today. You unloading coffee today? Yeah, a Brazil ship. I smelled it too. It smells all over the neighborhood. That's one time. Boy, to be a longshoreman is a pleasure. I could work coffee ships 20 hours a day. You go down in the hold, you know? It's like flowers, that smell. We'll bust a bag tomorrow. I'll bring you some. Just be sure there's no spiders in it, will you? I mean it. She directs this to Catherine, rolling her eyes upwards. I still remember that spider coming out of the bag we brought home. I nearly died. You call that a spider? You ought to see what comes out of these bananas sometimes. Don't talk about it. I seen spiders could stop a Buick. Ah! No! Ah! All right, shut up. Laughing and taking a watch out of his pocket. Well, who started with spiders? All right, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. Just don't bring none home again. What time is it? 9:15. Puts watch back in his pocket. They continue eating in silence. He's bringing in 10 o'clock. Tony. Around, yeah. He eats. Eddie, suppose somebody asks if they're living here. He looks at her as though already she had divulged something publicly, defensively. If they ask. Now, look, baby. I can see we're getting mixed up here again. No, I just mean people see them going in and out. I don't care who sees them going in and out, as long as you don't see them going in and out. And this goes for you too, B. You don't see nothing, and you don't know nothing. What do you mean? I understand. You don't understand. You still think you can talk about this to somebody just a little bit. Now let me say it once and for all, because you're making me nervous again, both of you. I don't care if somebody comes in the house and sees them sleeping on the floor. It never comes out of your mouth who they are or what they're doing here. Yeah, but my mother will know. Sure, she'll know, but just don't you be the one who told her. That's all. This is the United States government you're playing with now. This is the Immigration Bureau. If you said it, you knew it. If you didn't say it, you didn't know it. Yeah, but Eddie, suppose somebody, I don't care what the question is. You don't know nothing. They got stool pigeons all over this neighborhood. They're paying them every week for information, and you don't know who they are. It could be your best friend. You hear? To Beatrice. Like Vinny Bolzano. Remember Vinny? Oh, yeah. Oh, God forbid. Tell her about Vinny, to Catherine. You think I'm blowing steam here? To Beatrice. Go ahead, tell her. To Catherine. You was a baby then. There was a family, lived next door to her mother. He was about 16. No. He was no more than 14, because I was to his confirmation in St. James, but the family had an uncle that they were hiding in the house, and he snitched to the immigration. The kid snitched? On his own uncle. What? Was he crazy? He was crazy after, I'll tell you that, boy. Oh, it was terrible. He had 5 brothers and an old father. They grabbed him in the kitchen and pulled him down the stairs. 3 flights, his head was bouncing like a coconut, and they spit on him in the streets. His own father and his brothers. Yeah, the whole neighborhood was crying. So what happened to him? I think he went away. To Eddie. I never seen him again. Did you? Eddie rises during this, taking out his watch. Him? You'll never see him no more. A guy do a thing like that? How's he gonna show his face? To Catherine, as he gets up uneasily. Just remember, kid, you can quicker get back $1 million that was stole than a word that you gave away. He's standing now, stretching his back. Okay, I won't say a word to nobody, I swear. Gonna rain tomorrow. We'll be sliding all over the decks. Maybe you oughta put something on for them. They be here soon. I only got fish. I hate to spoil it if they ate already. I'll wait. It only takes a few minutes. I could boil it. What happens, Eddie, when that ship pulls out and they ain't on it, though? Don't the captain say nothing? Eddie slicing an apple with his pocket knife. Captain's pieced off. What do you mean? Even the captain? What's the matter? The captain don't have to live? Captain gets a piece. Maybe one of the mates. Piece for the guy in Italy who fixed the papers for them. Tony here will get a little bite too. I just hope they get work here. That's all I hope. Oh, the syndicate will fix jobs for them. So they pay them off. They'll get them work every day. It's after the payoff. Then they'll have to scramble like the rest of us. Well, it'd be better than what they got there. Oh, yeah, sure. Well, listen. So you want to start Monday, eh, Madonna? Catherine embarrassed. Supposed to. Yeah. Eddie is standing, facing the 2 seated women. First Beatrice smiles, then Catherine. For a powerful emotion is on him. A childish one, and a knowing fear. And the tears show in his eyes, and they are shy before the avowal. Eddie sadly smiling, yet somehow proud of her. Well, I hope you have good luck. I wish you the best. You know that, kid. Catherine rising, trying to laugh. You sound like I'm going 1,000,000 miles. I know. I guess I just never figured on one thing. Catherine smiling. What? That you would ever grow up. He utters a soundless laugh at himself, feeling his breast pocket of his shirt. I left a cigar in my other coat, I think. He starts with the bedroom. Stay there. I'll get it for you. She hurries out. There is a slight pause, and Eddie turns to Beatrice, who has been avoiding his gaze. What are you mad at me lately? Who's mad? She gets up, clearing the dishes. I'm not mad. She picks up the dishes and turns to him. You're the one who's mad. She turns and goes into the kitchen as Catherine enters from the bedroom with a cigar and a pack of matches. Here, I'll light it for you. She strikes a match and holds it to his cigar. He puffs, quietly. Don't worry about me, Eddie. Eh? Don't burn yourself. Just in time, she blows out the match. You better go and help her with the dishes. Catherine turns quickly to the table, and seeing the table cleared, she says almost guiltily, Oh. She hurries into the kitchen, and as she exits there, I'll do the dishes, Bea. Alone, Eddie stands looking towards the kitchen for a moment. Then he takes out his watch, glances at it, replaces it in his pocket, sits in the armchair, and stares at the smoke flowing out of his mouth. The lights go down, then come up on Alfieri, who has moved onto the 4th stage.